Rainbow Magic, Izzy, the Indigo Fairy by Daisy Meadows. A fairy tale beginning. Rain, rain, go away. Rachel Walker sighed. Come again another day. She and her friend Kirsty Tate stared out of the attic window. Raindrops splashed against the glass, and the sky was full of purpley black clouds. Isn't it a horrible day? Kirsty said, but it's nice and cozy here. She looked around Rachel's small attic bedroom. There was just room for a brass bed with a patchwork quilt, a comfy armchair, and an old bookshelf. You know what the weather on Rainspell is like, Rachel pointed out. It might be hot and sunny very soon. Both girls had come to Rainspell Island on a holiday. The Walkers were staying in Mermaid Cottage, while the Tates were in Dolphin Cottage next door. Kirsty frowned. Yes, but what about Izzy in the Indigo Fairy? She asked. We have to find her today. Rachel and Kirsty shared wonderful secret. They were trying to find the 7 rainbow fairies who had been cast out of Fairyland by evil Jack Frost. Fairyland would be cold and gray until all 7 fairies have been found again. Rachel thought of Ruby, Amber, Saffron, Fern, and Sky, who were all safe now to the pot at the end of the rainbow. They only had Izzy the Indigo Fairy and Heather the Violet Fairy left to find. But how could they look for them while they were stuck indoors? Remember what the Fairy Queen said? She reminded Kirsty. Kirsty nodded. She said the magic would come to us. Suddenly she looked scared. Maybe the rain is Jack Frost's magic. Maybe he's trying to stop us finding Izzy. Oh no, Rachel said. Let's hope it stops soon. But what shall we do while we are waiting? Kirsty thought for a moment. Then she went over to the bookshelf. It was full with dusty old books, and she pulled one out. It was so big she had to use 2 hands to hold it. The Big Book of Fairy Tales, Rachel read out, looking at the cover. If we can't find fairies, at least we can read about them. Kirsty grinned. The 2 girls sat down on the bed and put the book on their knees. Kirsty was about to turn the first page when Rachel gasped. Kirsty, look at the cover. It's purple. A really deep bluey purple. That's indigo, Kirsty whispered. Oh, Rachel, do you think Izzy could be trapped inside? Let's see, Rachel said. Hurry up, Kirsty. Open the book. But Kirsty has spotted something else. Rachel, she said shakily, it's glowing. Rachel looked. Kirsty was right. Some pages in the middle of the book were gleaming with a soft, bluey purple light. Kirsty opened the book. The ink of the pages were glowing indigo. For a moment, Kirsty thought that Izzy might fly out of the page, but there was no sign of her. On the first page was a picture of a wooden soldier. Above the pictures were the words, "The Nutcracker." Oh, Rachel said, I know this story. I went to see the ballet at Christmas. What's it about? Kirsty asked. Well, a girl called Clara gets a wooden nutcracker soldier for Christmas, Rachel explained. He comes to life and takes her to the land of sweets. They looked down at a brightly colored picture of a Christmas tree. A little girl was asleep beside it, holding a wooden soldier. On the next page, there was a picture of snowflakes whirling and swirling through a dark forest. "Aren't the pictures great?" Kirsty said. "The snow looks so real." Rachel frowned. For a moment, she thought the snowflakes were moving. Gently, she put out her hand and touched the page. It felt cold and wet. "Kirsty," she whispered, "it is real." She held out her hand. There were white snowflakes on her fingers. Kirsty looked down at the book again, her eyes wide. The snowflakes started to swirl from the book's pages right into the bedroom, slowly at first, then faster and faster. Soon the snowstorm was so thick Rachel and Kirsty couldn't see a thing, but they could feel themselves being swept up into the air by the spinning snow cloud. Rachel yelled to Kirsty, "Why haven't we hit the bedroom ceiling?" Kirsty reached for Rachel's hand. "Because it's magic," she whispered. The land of sweets. Suddenly, the snowflakes stopped swirling. Rachel and Kirsty found themselves standing in a forest with their rucksacks at their feet. Tall trees loomed around them and crisp white snow covered the ground. They certainly weren't in Rachel's bedroom anymore. Then Rachel realized where they were. "Kirsty, there is the forest that was in the picture," she said, grabbing her friend's arm. "We're inside the book." Kirsty looked even more scared. "Do you think Jack Frost brought us here?" she asked. "Or his goblins?" Jack Frost's goblins were always trying to stop Rachel and Kirsty from finding the rainbow fairies. "I don't know," Rachel replied. Then she frowned. There was something odd about the snow. She bent down and gently touched a snowdrift. "This isn't snow," she laughed. "It's icing sugar." "What?" Kirsty looked amazed. She scooped up a handful and tasted. The icing sugar was cool and sweet. "Maybe this isn't Jack Frost's magic at all," Rachel said. "I wonder where this forest is." "What's that?" Kirsty asked, pointing. Rachel could see a pink and gold glow through the trees. "Let's go and find out," she said. They picked up their rucksacks and set off. It was hard walking through the icing sugar. Soon, their trainers were covered in the sugary snow. Crack! Rachel nearly jumped out of her skin as a loud voice echoed through the trees. "Sorry," said Kirsty. "I trod on a twig." "Wait," Rachel whispered. "I just heard voices." "Goblins?" Kirsty whispered back, looking scared again. Rachel listened. The voices were louder now. She sighed with relief. No, they sound too sweet and soft to be goblins' voices. Rachel and Kirsty hurried toward the edge of the forest. When they came out of the trees, they saw that the glow was coming from a dazzling pink and gold archway. "Look, Kirsty," Rachel gasped. "It's made of sweets." Kirsty stared. The archway was made of pink marshmallows and golden toffees. Then they heard the voices again. They spun round to see who it was. Two people dressed in fluffy white coats were chatting into each other and scooping icing sugar into shiny metal baskets. They had round, rosy cheeks and little pointing ears. They were so busy they hadn't noticed Rachel and Kirsty yet. "I think they're elves," Kirsty whispered, "but they're the same size as we are. That means we must be fairy or at least elf-sized again." "We haven't got any wings this time, though," Rachel whispered.